Thanks, Jenna. Welcome everyone to Read Live account setup webinar. Today I'm going to demonstrate how to log into Read Live, how to add your schools, how to add staff members, how to add students both individually and to import students. I'm going to talk about single sign-on and rostering and how it relates to Read Live, how to assign licenses and access to programs, and then we'll show you a couple of additional teacher tools for Read Live. So we're often asked, what's the difference between Read Naturally, Read Live, and Read Naturally Live? So Read Naturally is our company. Read Naturally scientifically backed reading interventions have helped millions of students go from struggling to successful since 1991. Read Live contains four powerful applications in one easy-to-use web-based platform for struggling and developing readers of all ages. And Read Naturally Live is an online program that is a component of the Read Live suite of programs. It combines a motivating system with the best evidence-based practices to deliver results fast. With your subscription to Read Live, your students have access to the entire suite of four highly effective applications. Read Naturally Live is our flagship program. The primary focus is fluency and phonics with additional support for vocabulary, spelling, and comprehension. Word Warm-Ups Live focuses on phonics with support for fluency, spelling, and phonemic awareness. Read Naturally Live Espanol is the Spanish language version of Read Naturally Live and is designed to help multilingual readers develop Spanish literacy skills. It focuses on fluency with support for vocabulary and comprehension. And 1 Minute Reader Live's primary focus is fluency with support for vocabulary and comprehension. 1 Minute Reader Live is a structured, independent reading practice for developing readers of all ages. So to get started, when you're added to a staff member or you start a new Read Live account, you'll receive an activation email from noreply@readnaturally.com, and that will include your login credentials. So it will have our URL, readlive.readnaturally.com. If you're asked for an email address when you're trying to log into Read Live, that means you're at our company website where you can take our online courses and place orders. So you want to be sure that you're at readlive.readnaturally.com. So staff members will click on the staff member tab. You'll enter your 8-digit account ID that will be in that email address. You'll enter your user ID and your password. And the first time you log in, you'll be asked to change your password and set a security question. And once you do that, you'll come to the Welcome to Read Live page where you'll see the orientation and resources page that you can go to or go to your home page. So the orientation and resources page will tell you what your role in Read Live is and then the next steps to get started. The home page you can get to by clicking on the home icon at the top of the page. So I'm going to click on that. You'll see that there are tiles with all the different spots that you can go to within Read Live. And each tile has a list of what you can do if you click on that tile. So it's really nice, especially when you get started, if you don't remember where you should go for a certain task, it's right there for you. The three horizontal lines in the upper left corner, that's our main navigation menu. Same places to go as the tiles, it's just a drop-down format. So it's a quick and easy way to get started. So to get started with Read Live, at first we're going to add schools. So I'm going to go to Account and School Administration. And when I click on that, you can see account license summary. So this gives you information about your account. So my demo account has 100 licenses, 71 licenses are available, and it gives me my subscription expiration date. Also the account name and the main account contact. In the middle of the page, it will have my school. So when you first get started, there should be one school in there, and most likely it will say my school. If you click on that, you can change that to whatever your school name is. And then if you're the only school in the account, it's best to just leave it so that the school can use any available licenses within the account. If you're a district account and you have multiple schools in the account, you might want to reserve licenses for each school, just so that the the licenses that that school is paid for, they're able to use and nobody else can grab them. And then when you're done, you'll just click Save and Close. Once all your schools are added, if you need to add more schools, you'll just click Add School, enter the school name, and then choose the reserve method, and then Save and Close. Once you're done with your adding your schools, we can go back to that home page and we'll go to staff member administration. So I'll click on that. This is where we can add or remove staff members. To add a staff member, you'll click the Add Staff Member button at the top left of the page. You'll enter the first name of the staff member and their last name. Then you'll choose the role that you want that particular staff member to have. So you can see across the rows here are permissions that these are the basic permissions for each role in Read Live. If you wanted to see more detailed information about the roles, you can click Learn More About Roles, and it gives you more specific information about what each role can do. So I'm going to choose Teacher. If the teacher is going to work in multiple schools in your account, you can select all schools, and that way that teacher can work with students in all of the schools. Otherwise, you'll just choose the school that that teacher is at. You'll enter their email, and then you'll verify their email. Their user ID will automatically default to first initial last name, and then you'll either click Save and Add Another or Save and Close. Across at the top of the columns, you'll see that there's 3 horizontal lines here. So if I click on that, it allows me to filter. So if I want to bring up a couple of teachers whose last name begins with TA, type that in the box, click apply, and it narrows my list. If you see that little funnel in any of the columns, you can click on those 3 horizontal lines again and click reset, and it will remove that filter. You can also click on the column heading and you can sort ascending or descending. You can see when your staff members last logged in. You can also see this unlock box. If a staff member has been locked out of the account, this will be bolded, and you can click on that to unlock their login information. If a teacher a teacher will automatically be unlocked after 30 minutes. Account administrators in the account will need to call our tech team at our 1-800 number and ask them to unlock their account. You can also send a reset password email to a teacher. So if one of your teachers says they never got their activation email, you can send that reset password email. You just want to make sure that they log in within 8 hours of you sending it. So now we're going to go to adding students. So I'm going to click on Student Administration. So first I'm going to start out with adding students individually. So I'll click on the Student Setup button. And then here at the top of the page, I can click Add Student. Any field that has an asterisk will need to be filled in on this page. So you'll enter the student's first name, their last name. Their status is automatically active. You'll select the grade, the current grade that the student is in. You'll choose their school. You'll enter their user ID. Student user ID needs to be unique for each student. So you can use, say, their lunch number or school ID number, something easy for the student to remember, and it needs to be unique. The password for Read Live does not need to be unique. It just needs to be at least 3 characters, and then you'll verify that password. And then you're going to assign a license to the student. Any student that will work in Read Live needs a license to be able to work in Read Live. So you'll select yes. If you know your student's lead teacher, you can select that lead teacher. If you're not sure who the lead teacher is going to be, you can uncheck that box, and that teacher can grab that student to be their lead teacher once that decision has been made. Also, when you assign a license to a student, they'll automatically be given access to Read Naturally Live and 1 Minute Reader Live. You can check the additional programs if the student will be working in those, or you can uncheck any programs that you don't think the student will be working in. Typically, we recommend that you only assign access to the programs you know that the student will be working in, so they don't take a lot of time clicking all the tiles on their page when they log in. You can always go back and add or remove access to one of those programs at another time. And then the last thing here over on the right-hand side of the page is contact information. These fields are optional. Entering contact information enables the student's lead teacher to send progress letters and awards to the contact. If both contacts are entered, messages will be sent out to both of those contacts. So I am going to save and close. And it will confirm that you don't want to assign a lead teacher if you uncheck that box. Just click yes. I already entered that user ID. I'm going to actually cancel out of this student, entering this student. So now I'm going to go back to my home page and I'm going to talk and go to student administration. And I'm going to talk a little bit about single sign-on setup. So single sign-on and rostering and how it relates to Read Live. Read Live offers several single sign-on options available for students only. We do not offer single sign-on for staff members at this time. Schools can choose their preferred single sign-on option. We have Classlink, Clever, and Google Classroom. Just a few notes about single sign-on options. Classlink is a single sign-on and rostering connection. This means that student lists must be set up in Classlink by a Classlink administrator, and those students will sync to Read Live automatically. Clever is a single sign-on only connection. Once students are manually added or imported through the Read Live interface and the Read Live single sign-on app is set up in Clever by a Clever administrator, students will be able to access Read Live through their Clever portal. And just a note for site licensed accounts, we offer a Clever single sign-on and rostering connection. This app provides a nightly synchronization of student rosters in addition to the standard single sign-on. This option is only available upon request by accounts that have building-wide site licenses. You can contact our customer service team at customerservice@readnaturally.com and they'll connect you with the appropriate people for that. So roster synchronization is limited by the number of licenses within the Read Live account. Sharing more students than licenses will result in a failure of the data sync. If rostering is set up in Classlink or Clever, the ability to manually edit students from within Read Live is disabled. So last but not least, Google is also a single sign-on connection. Once students are manually added or imported through the Read Live interface, students will be able to access Read Live through a custom single sign-on link, which can be added to a Google Classroom or posted to a website. And just one more note for Clever and Google single sign-on, the student's email address must be included with the student's Read Live record for single sign-on to work. Contact our tech support team at support@readnaturally.com to guide you through these options. You can also reach them at our 800 number. So now I'm going to go back to the account, the home page. I'm going to go to the student administration tile again and click on student import. So here's where you can import your students. Only school coordinators and account administrators can import students. Imports can be completed by using either the Read Live proprietary spreadsheet, which I'm going to show you, or a OneRoster version 1.1 file from your district or a school student information system. So here, there's step-by-step directions here. I'm going to click on this importing student data page. It opens a new page with a 3-page document, which gives specific instructions on how to do the student import. So here on page 2, we have a template that you can download. So I'm going to click on that. This is a CSV file. Just going to move this up here. So a few things to note on this CSV file. There are column headers at the top of those top of the columns, and those must remain the same. Do not try to change or edit those at all. And then on this page, not all of these columns need to be filled in. The second page of this document has the required fields that will need to be filled in on this document. So the student first name, the student last name, student's grade, student user ID, and student password must be filled in. The rest you can leave blank, but do not remove the column headers. Once you've completed filling out this form, you can go back to, I'm going to go back to the Read Live page. Then once it's completed, you'll click Browse. You'll find your document. So I'm going to click on this, click Open. And then I'm going to select, with the CSV file, you need to select the school that it's going into. So I'm going to select that school and click Next. So I have errors in my document, so I can click on Review Errors. Any error in the document will be highlighted in yellow, and you can hover over that to see what the error is. There's also an error log that you can print, so I can click on this, and then I can see what my issue is. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to cancel this. So now I redid my form. I'm going to find my new form, click Browse. Click on the document and open. And then I'll select my school and then click next to schedule the import. And then I have no errors, so I can click next and my import will be done overnight. So I'm just going to cancel out of this. Otherwise, if you were going to do this, you'd click yes. Imports are done overnight. If you have multiple schools, each school has to be done separately. So I'm going to cancel out of this. I'm going to go back to my home page. So I'm going to pretend it's the next morning. All of my students have been added. They've been added to the account. I'm going to go back again to that student administration tile. And then I'm going to go to application access. And then I'm going to choose my school. So here are my students. I want to assign a license. So here they're not licensed, they have no lead teacher, and they do not have access to any of the programs in Read Live. So I'm going to check the boxes next to the student's last name. If you have a large list, you can check that first box, hold the shift key, check the last box. All your students will be highlighted, and then you'll click this Manage Access to Read Live box at the top of the page. And then here, add licenses for selected. And then if you know the lead teacher, you can select the lead teacher. So all of these students will need to have the same lead teacher. Otherwise, you'll just sort them by who their lead teacher is. And then I'll click OK. So now my students have a license, a lead teacher, and they're assigned access to Read Live. If I want them to have access to other programs in Read Live, say I want these first 3 students to have access to Word warm-ups as well, I'll just click their boxes, add Word warm-ups live for the selected. This tells me that they'll automatically be assigned level 1 section B with a word list goal of 40, and I can adjust that at another time. So I'm going to choose yes. So now they have access to Word warm-ups live. And then you just do that for all of the students, all the applications that you want them to have. You just go through those different programs and add those. So that is how you assign access, assign licenses and access to the different programs. I'm going to go back to that home page. And then I'm going to show you how to create a student password report. So I'm going to click on at the very bottom, I'm going to click on reports, student passwords. So here's all of my students. You can filter by the school. I just sorted it. So I wanted those new students that I just added. I want to see their password. So I'm going to choose those and then generate report for selected. So here it says their lead teacher, what school they're in, the student's name, their grade, and their user ID and password is all listed here on the document. And you can print that if you want, just make sure you keep it in a secure place. So I'm just going to go back. I also want to mention that if you have any questions, please reach out to us. We're here Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 Central Time. But I do want to mention our Read Live help page. So you can get there when you're logged into Read Live. You'll see this little help link at the bottom of the page. If you click on that, it will open our help page. I already have a tab with our Read Live help page here at the top of the page. On the left-hand side of the page, several short videos to help you get started setting up and then working with students in Read Live, Word Warm-Ups Live, 1 Minute Reader Live. There's a lot of helpful videos there. On the right side of the page are helpful links to help you work through the different programs in Read Live. We also provide free demos. You can email us at email customer service at readnaturally.com and they can send you to the appropriate person for those free demos. We also, our training page at the top of the page, if you click on that, if you hover over it, you'll see that we have seminars throughout the year. We have virtual training, online courses, student training videos. These are great sets of videos for all the different programs in Read Live, and they're short videos that walk students through how they're going to use each program. And there's also an implementation guide for the teacher. So that is setting up Read Live. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to us. Thank you for joining us today. Please follow us on your favorite social media platform. And just a reminder that we'll be sending out a follow-up email with links to the webinar recording in about 24 hours. And please feel free to share that recording with your colleagues. If we didn't answer any questions that you might have had during the webinar, we'll email you a response in the next day or two. If you could please respond to the survey questions that will appear on your screen after the webinar, we would appreciate it. It helps us continue to improve the educational experience for all of you and our future webinars. Thank you for your participation and enjoy the rest of your day.